Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Teesha, and today we're going to talk about the singles cruise we went on. So a couple months ago, I think, during my project Use It Up for the spring, we picked 15 candles out of my single wick collection because I intentionally wanted to make room in case I found some of those tester candles for the semi-annual sale. So this was me planning ahead. So I picked 15 candles. I assigned each one a number, and then I used a random generator to make blends for myself. So we called it a singles cruise because they were single wick candles. And we're going to talk about, was it a fun ride? So I'm going to share with you each of the three sets that we blended together and kind of my thoughts as to what it gave. So let's just jump right in. So the first blend was Pumpkin Bonfire. This has notes of white pumpkin, clove buds, and glowing embers. And it is just a smoky, very spicy pumpkin scent. There's not a lot of creaminess to it or sweetness. This is straight up like, I can smell the burning embers in this candle. It is very strong, but it is a really nice fall scent. I mixed that with Hop to It, which is sweet carrot cake. This has notes of sweet cream cheese frosting, fluffy carrot cake, cinnamon spice. I thought, okay, clove bud, cinnamon spice, this might be okay. This is one of my favorite candles ever. It just came out for Easter again. It smells amazing. You really wouldn't think this was a single wick when you have it on burn. I thought it did a really good job. And then the last of the three for this first blend was Flannel. Flannel has notes of fresh bergamot, mahogany, and soft musk. And this is kind of like a grandpa sweater, kind of like a soap. So let's talk about what happened during this burn. So I started the burn with Flannel and Hop to It. And this was soapy cake vibe. So you really get a clean, fresh scent with this one. It did not mix whatsoever with my sweet carrot cake, as you probably guessed it wouldn't. So this one was just being its own little cream cheese frosting carrot cake self. And this was soapy, fresh, very clean and masculine, like a cologne. You know, Flannel is one of my favorites in the fall. It smells so good. So this was soapy cake vibes. It did not work. So then, of course, I switched out, moved this one a little bit further away, and started Pumpkin Bonfire. Now, sweet carrot cake was already going, so it was in full effect. And then this one doesn't take any time at all to give you a little bit of a throw. And when I mean a little bit of a throw, it's a lot of bit of a throw. So this was like you're baking a cake and you open a window and your neighbors are burning leaves in their yard. So it really wasn't mixing like the clove buds with the cinnamon and making a gourmand scent. It kind of very much was you're baking a cake and you can smell burning leaves in the yard. But it didn't not work. It wasn't something that I'm going to say next fall you run out and buy this, but it definitely worked. It was in the very early part of this, so it was still March, it was still cold, so the weather was okay for these candles. I definitely don't think this was something I could have handled in the summer because it was giving straight up fall vibes, but I love all of these candles for what they are. They just were, it wasn't a blend I was excited about when I look at some of the other ones. So this did just fine, and of course the best of the three blends end up being Pumpkin Bonfire, which gives you a little bit of the clove with the smoke, the glowing embers, mixed with the clean freshness of the bergamot in Flannel. This worked just fine. This kind of gave you a difference on the cologne aspect. So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily want Pumpkin Bonfire in a cologne for a man, but it just leaned a lot more masculine. There wasn't anything gourmand over here. So it worked. It was like fall, clean grandpa sweater. Or you could have had soapy cake, or you could have baking a cake with your window open and leaves burning. That is what the blend number one gave, but I did get through all three candles, and it wasn't the worst thing I've ever experienced. So let's move on. Blend number two was cinnamon and clove buds, which was sweet cinnamon and clove buds and ground nutmeg. As you can see, it was trying to get through a lot of fall candles here. That I mixed with a mahogany teak wood, which is rich mahogany, black teak wood, dark oak, and frosted lavender. I really enjoy this candle in a single wick because it is so strong. In a three wick, this one I have to open windows. It's so strong. It blows you out of your house. These mix together just fine. This is definitely not a gourmand scent. It is very fall forward, so it just smells like the weather's changing. This is the kind of thing that you'd want to have as a wax melt or a fragrance oil burn, but it's not gourmand, so it worked really well. The nutmeg just kind of gives it maybe a little bit more of like a creaminess because the cinnamon's very pungent. The clove bud's very pungent. So I don't necessarily pull that note out of here. And mixing it with the teak wood and the mahogany. So it really just kind of almost added a little bit of cinnamon to mahogany teak wood, which I think would work. The lavender and the cinnamon never really battled. I never smelled both thinking, what is that weird scent? So this was just heavy on the fall. So then the mix of, and I mean, I do burn all three at the same time, but two are always closer together. So that's why I'm kind of showing you in pairs. Vintage was our third, which was blue lavender, fresh pepper, and vintage woods. Now, as you probably can tell without me saying anything, this just made a delicious man scent smell in my house. It was very fresh, clean. The lavender was like not even calming. It was like sharp and, you know, sharp dressed man vibes. That's what I really got. But both of these did just fine. That was my biggest concern. I was like, what are those lavender scents going to do with the cinnamon? But truly, because this isn't like fresh, pretty spring lavender, it was more on that sharp side. It worked just fine with the cinnamon. And this just made fall men's cologne, you know, fancy dressed man. You know, I don't know, the cinnamon worked just fine. It didn't come off gourmand. So it worked. It was really actually a good blend. It would work really a lot better in the fall, but we were burning these in the spring. So the third set of candles, and this one did a really good job actually, was white t-shirt. White t-shirt was a crisp pear, lavender cloud, soft cedar wood. Now, if this would have been put into the second blend instead of cinnamon and clove buds, that would have really worked too. But it was paired with Glacier Lagoon. This was from the nature inspired collection from Whitebarn. I do hope they come out with these. I know they came out in hand soaps. I didn't grab any because I'm trying to use up hand soaps, but every single one of these that I tried, I fell in love with, and I found them for semi-annual sale for 75% off. So these were good. This was a good unicorn find. Glacier Lagoon is frosted orange, watery freesia, and lavender. So I'm thinking Glacier Lagoon is going to kind of smell like that cozy evening scent from the Homebody collection, but this is definitely another like men's cologne. I don't know if it's the lavender. It's like heavy, and that's what cologne is to me. Like women's perfume, it seems light, airy, and sweet. Men's colognes always are deeper, muskier, and heavy, and that's what I get in Glacier Lagoon. And it mixed quite well with white t-shirt, which I don't know that everyone loved this scent. I found it to be just in the middle. It was just okay. It is a nice fresh laundry scent. You know, it kind of smells like a white t-shirt just coming out of the dryer. But these work together really well. I mean, this was a perfect pairing. I really can't say anything more. Like I said, with there being that lavender in both, it was just fresh and clean. Super good. So where we come up with our little bump in the road was mixing it with Summer Boardwalk. Summer Boardwalk did not mix with either of these. It did not make anything that you would want to smell. So they did not go on a second date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started this one up and I think I was actually burning Glacier Lagoon, which is the stronger of the two. So white t-shirt, Glacier Lagoon, you're going to smell this one a little bit more than white t-shirt. So that's why they pair together well, because then it's just kind of pulling the same notes out. But this was stronger, and there was just nothing about these two candles that belonged in the same room burning together. So I moved them apart. I wasn't going to suffer through anything. And then, you know, white t-shirt was pretty similar. It's like laundry, but you really were just taking away from how delicious Summer Boardwalk is. So what I ended up doing was finishing these two, and I put this one in my bedroom because that was far enough away where I could actually pull the warm taffy apple and the caramel corn popcorn, and I didn't have any like lavender laundry scents interfering. So the thing of it is this is a strong scent, and these are both pretty strong. Like, I'm not saying white t-shirt's weak, but Glacier Lagoon was a strong scent. So you just had both very loud scents in the same room. And again, I don't want to walk in a room and smell like freesia and lavender and warm taffy apples and popcorn. So it didn't work, but it wasn't bad. I still used up all three candles. They just did not burn in the same space. I moved this one out and let the other two do their thing. So that is the third set. And to be honest, that was probably the set that worked the least. And just because Summer Boardwalk really stands on its own, it doesn't need to be blended with anything that is not caramel, appley, yummy. So the only candle I really could have burnt it with, or the only pairing that it would have worked with, was pair number 4. This was a gourmand blend that happened through the number generator. And if I would have burned Summer Boardwalk with Wicked Apple, that would have been amazing. But I burnt it with these two. So let's go into it. So Wicked Apple is green apple, caramel drizzle, vanilla bean. And, you know, in our Halloween, it's vicious vanilla bean and dreary caramel. I'm not sure, but this is just a Caramel Charms apple sucker that I love. You get tart green apple, you get that gooey caramel. I love this scent. Again, in a single wick, it's bomb.com. It's strong, it throws, you would never know it was a single wick. Mixing it with these two worked just fine. So this is tart, sweet, caramel. And then you have lemon buttercream, which I don't have the notes because this was from Aldi's Huntington Homes. But this is basically just lemon glaze icing. So you get a little bit of citrus and a little bit of sweetness and definitely icing. It really kind of leans towards like a Fruity Pebbles. Like if I burnt this and burnt or wax melted the Fruity Pebbles scent from Walmart, that would be amazing. I still kind of get that from here. Like the lemon's so strong. Fruity Pebbles kind of smells like lemon to me. But, you know, honestly, even though you wouldn't probably want a caramel apple with lemon, it really was good. It was sweet and tart, you know. It just worked. I don't know how, like caramel apple lemon cake, pound cake, you could do it. It would be fine. So if you don't have icing, you can use caramel, you know. But it really was just a gourmand sweet tart scent in the air. And then both of them worked with pear creme brulee. So these were candles I could burn all at the same time. I wasn't switching anything out. They were all kind of close to each other and just made a really pretty tart, sweet, gourmand scent. A lot of lemon, a lot of caramel apple. And then in pear creme brulee, you have baked pear, caramelized sugar, and whipped cream. The pear got lost for me. So I just kind of added a little bit of whipped topping to the caramel apple and the lemon. But I really do like this in the candle. I wanted to make sure I said that. Like I've been saying that the body care was not for me. It was so for me in the candle. I would definitely be looking to get another couple of these single wicks because I really enjoyed this scent. They should come out with this in a 3-wick. It was really good. So that was a recommend if you still see that in stores somehow. I think they're for the most part gone, but that whole little... I didn't even stick to my notes. I've just been rambling on. That whole little mix really worked. But yeah, Wicked Apple was the strongest, followed by Lemon Buttercream and then Pear Creme Brulee. So at times I didn't really smell Pear Creme Brulee. I was smelling more of the others. So this is the last blend. This was blend number 5 where we have Pink Watermelon, which has notes of, it's a candied watermelon or juicy watermelon, strawberry petals, which is kind of giving it a little bit of like, or maybe this one has like strawberry something and lime zest. So it's like strawberry, watermelon, and lime. I didn't write the notes down, but this is more of the watermelon Jolly Rancher. We love this candle. If you know, you know. I really go through quite a few of these. And I mix that with a Walk in the Clouds. So right there, this was like, you know, red flag number 2. This one might not go on a second date. Walk in the Woods has notes of warm, woodsy, and cinnamon. Like, that's really all I get. So it's like cinnamon and sunshine. I really, really like it, but it is so strong on the cinnamon. And I don't know how that works, but it really, really does. If they bring out this nature collection again, I highly recommend it, friends. It was a really nice experience. I've tried 3 or 4 of them. Love them all. This one I warmed because it was so strong and, you know, it was burning so slowly. They really used some quality oils in here because it was just burning ever so slowly. So it was really nice on the warmer, but you mostly get a warmth mixed with a nice cinnamon. It's a spicy cinnamon more than a sweet cinnamon. So did these work together? Not really. Pink Watermelon just stands on its own as that like Jolly Rancher candied scent. This one stood on its own as like warm sunshine cinnamon, but did that mix together? Not at all. So they kind of got moved apart. Pink Watermelon went to my bedroom, and then I brought out Mary Cookie. Mary Cookie is sugar cookies, like, you know, buttery, crisp, like kind of the ones you made with your grandma back in the day, right? This one burned down all the way to the bottom. It was a really good burn. I recommend it, but, you know, it's kind of like your run-of-the-mill, like, buttery cookie cake scent. You know what I'm saying? So you could get it in a vanilla cake. You don't need this one, but I thought this was cute. This came in the box. They were returned, so I picked them up for 75% off at SAS. Well, Walk in the Woods and Mary Cookie really worked together. They kind of made like a cinnamon cookie scent. Again, you know, the warmth was outside, but if you open a window while you're baking cookies, here you go. That's what you got. You know, there were times that like, if I burnt the Pink Watermelon near this butter or Mary Cookie, I kind of got like a Fruity Pebble cookie a little bit, but this really did linger as your Jolly Rancher scent. So, you know, this one kind of needed to be burnt by itself. And then, you know, this one was kind of like, you know, maybe a nighttime, you made some cookies, you're sitting around a fire. You know what I'm saying? very outdoorsy, I mean, the cinnamon and sunlight, that's really all I can say about this. I can't describe it any other way for you. But it wasn't bad. It's just that Mary Cookie did blend better with both. And then these two, A Walk in the Woods and Pink Watermelon, did not blend at all. So they were moved far apart. So that is my 5th and final blend. Like I said, it was very helpful to get through 15 single wicks in a matter of like 6 weeks. To blend these and just kind of talk about, did they work? Like sometimes we don't have the same exact scent. So how can we pair them? And I can tell you that, as candles go, that none of these were so bad that like I had to evacuate or open every window and door, like if you burn bacon. There's your, your comparison. None of these are going to give you burning bacon, which just means that's my level of cooking expertise, y'all. Peanut butter and jelly. So it worked. It was fun. It was a fun ride. I am glad I did it. Like I said, that was helpful for my project Use It Up. I just feel very accomplished. So that was all the notes I took on that little, experiment I did. I am still working right now on the random couples speed dating of my body care. I have run into some snags, you guys. Like there's a couple scents that do not work, like washed my arm up to my elbow. But I am going to bring you that video next month when I've tried them all, so I can kind of do like this and give you the breakdown of what worked and what didn't. So I hope this was fun for you. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the video probably tomorrow. Bye.